Peace and love, everybody. Wherever you are, I love you. Whoever you are, I appreciate you. Thank you for being. Thank you for tuning in. Whatever you're going through, remember, this too shall pass. The only way to get stuck is to stop moving, and the only way to get there is to keep going. So let's go. So today I would like to start off with just a little quote, and that is, in order to get somewhere different, you have to be willing to leave where you are. So in order to move forward in any area of life, even in a very literal way, to get from here to the grocery store, you have to be willing to leave where you are. Now, when we want to go to the grocery store, we don't find a whole lot of difficulty in getting up and going to the grocery store, typically because the need and the desire for food, basic necessity, is greater than the complacency of sitting, say, on the couch or wherever we are currently. And so we have no problem making that step, getting up, getting dressed, going to the grocery store to make sure we have some food to eat. However, when it comes to larger moves that we want to make in life, when it comes to the career that we might want to have, or the home that we might want to live in, or whatever it is that we're trying to achieve, spiritual development, we often have a little bit more difficulty making the necessary move, moving away from where we are to get to where we're going. And the reason for that is attachment. Now, if you've done any spiritual reading and listened to spiritual teachers, a lot of them eventually speak about the power of non-attachment. And it's important to understand what that actually means. It doesn't necessarily mean that you don't care about anything or anyone, or that you don't like or value anything or anyone that's in your life. Quite the contrary. You can have full value for your mother, or for your best friend, or for your lover, or for your child, and still value yourself more. And that really is what it comes down to. When you get up and you go to the grocery store, it's because you value your own health, your own, fullness, and your own well-being over the starvation of not going anywhere. So if we apply that to life, and we can start seeing those goals that we want to accomplish as part of our well-being, as part of who we are becoming, and the part of us bettering ourselves, then maybe it becomes a little bit easier to take the steps necessary to get there, which of course requires leaving where we are. A lot of the attachments we tend to have are to other people, and even sometimes to places. And we tend to use these people as excuses. We tend to use our children, or our parents, or the person that we're in a relationship with, people that we've made commitments to, essentially, as excuses for not getting up and doing something to fulfill a commitment to our own selves. We are much quicker to make commitments to others, and even to fulfill those commitments to others, before we make and fulfill commitments to our own selves and our own growth, which seems noble and it seems nice. Oh, care more about other people. That must make you very altruistic and very heroic. But that's not quite the case. While the actions may be beautiful and helpful, if you're not coming from a place of authentic self-love, if you are not connected with the source of love within yourself and commitment within yourself, then any and everything you do, while with the best of intentions, is going to lack that true depth. It's going to lack the authenticity and the love that actions need in order to really be of some substance and to really make a huge impact in the world, or even a small one in someone's life. So oftentimes, the attachments and the commitments that we have to other people can be part of what's holding us back from pursuing our own dreams and going for our own goals. Now, this is not necessarily to say that parents should abandon their children, or that children should abandon their parents, or that you should walk away from every lover that you've ever been with or that you're with right now and just be single and alone and go out into the wilderness and fight the good old fight for yourself, because no person is an island. What it means, however, is that your commitment to your own self Your commitment to your own growth must be greater, must be stronger than your commitment to others in order for you to take precedence in your own life. No matter how committed you are to your family, to your friends, to your loved ones, they are not able to live your life for you. Even in religious circles, I remember this from growing up Southern Baptist. They would always say, you have to get to heaven on your own. Your family can't get to heaven for you, your sisters, your brothers, your mom, and your dad. And that's the exact same concept we speak of here. It doesn't matter how well you treat other people or how much you do for other people. It all eventually is in service of nothing if you don't do anything for yourself in the meantime. If you don't grow as well, you can push all the people you want to push. But where does that leave you? And so our commitment to ourselves needs to be greater than our commitment to other people. And that allows us to be in a better place to help more people, to help the people we love, to help complete strangers, because now we know that we are secure because we've helped ourselves first. Put on your own oxygen mask first, and then help your neighbor. That's what they tell you on airplanes. And so I want to talk a little bit also about why we tend to have these commitments more so to others than to ourselves. Well, part of it, of course, is because that we tend to be taught that, doing good for other people is what makes you a good person. But more importantly than that, it's fear. It is always fear at the root of anything that's holding you back. Fear of judgment from other people, fear of losing other people in your life, and that is where we come back to the theme of attachment. You're afraid of letting go of where you are and who you are because you've attached your identity to your circumstances, to your friends, your family, to your place of living, the place that you call home. But perhaps the most important sort of discovery on the spiritual journey, the thing you are aiming to discover, is who you are. And who you are, you come to realize, is far beyond your relationships and your attachments to others. But you will only be able to discover that once you release those attachments and take your power back for your own self. Now again, this doesn't necessarily mean leaving everyone, but it can, and sometimes it does. Oftentimes, it does mean leaving a particular relationship or leaving a job that doesn't serve you, or even leaving a school where you don't feel that you're really learning what it is that you intended to learn. I say this because I personally have definitely gone through that, where I've been in relationships where I attached myself to the relationship over and over and over again, and I always found myself 6 months in, or a year in, or 9 months in, or even 2 or 3 months in, with that void again. Who am I right now? Because I would always be sucked into the service of being a good girlfriend, or being a good, when I had my kids, being a good mother, or being a good child, which I felt that I was until I realized that I wasn't being me in that process. And you always know when your commitment to others is greater than your commitment to yourself because, again, of how it feels. You'll feel that emptiness. You'll feel that void. You'll have that question in your mind of, who am I? What is my purpose? What am I doing? Or even, who's taking care of me? Who loves me? The answer to that is you. You must love you. You must be committed to you. And then go out and help others in whatever way you can. So we must move away from the fear of losing the things and the people that we've become attached to in order to grow. Another important part of moving on in life and growing in life is to not be afraid to let go of who we are, who we've come to create as our image. A lot of us tend to identify with the different roles that we play in other people's lives. Perhaps, for instance, you are always someone who loved to cook. People come over and you always have food and you're always ready to cook for them. So much so that you'll get up and cook even when you don't feel like it, or even when you don't want to cook for your own self. because that image has been ingrained where you feel like if people are here, I have to cook for them. Or if my friend calls, I have to answer the phone and be there for them. Or whatever image you've created of yourself. Even negative images sometimes can hold us back. Images of, well, I've always been an alcoholic, so I'm always going to be an alcoholic, and that's how people see me, and I'm living up to that, right? Or I've always been pessimistic, or I've always been optimistic. The more important thing that you come to realize as you allow yourself to grow is that who you are is who you choose to be in every moment. And the truth is, you have no obligation to be who you were yesterday. In fact, it's quite absurd to attempt to always be who you were yesterday. Now, it's not to imply that there should be no consistency or that you shouldn't be, again, authentic. But it's just to point out that in the process of growth, there is the inevitable change. We don't expect toddlers, or at least it's not wise, to expect toddlers to be the same child, to speak the same way, to desire the same things when they're a little bit older, and a little bit older, and a little bit older. It doesn't make a lot of sense to look at a 15-year-old who's saying that he wants to be a lawyer and go, well, when you were 10, you wanted to be a dentist. What happened? What changed? I changed. And that's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay to want to be a lawyer at 15, and then at 20 to want to be an artist, and at 25 to want to be a chef. It's perfectly okay to continuously be in the service of yourself and to continuously grow and change in whatever way suits you. Again, it is not to imply that you are fickle or unpredictable. But as far as your relationship to yourself is concerned, you will be happy when you are authentic, when you know this is who I am, and who I am is who I am displaying myself to be to the world. When there is a disconnect between these images, who I truly am, who I feel myself to be, who I know myself to be inside, and who other people see me as, who I'm putting myself out there as, then that's where you have your disconnect and your pain and that feeling of loneliness and that feeling of not being accepted or, not fulfilling who you truly are inside. But it is when you bring the two together. It is when you say, this is who I am inside, this is how I feel, and this is who I am to other people, this is what I express. You find harmony with yourself and with others, and you become an example of how to be a source of light, a source of love, again, a source of authenticity. You show other people through your own being that it is okay for them as well to be who they are and to change and to grow and to commit and love themselves. And when you empower yourself in that way and you empower others in that way by your example, that's when we begin to awaken a new world of people who are happier and more at peace and more abundant and more free and more tolerant and accepting because they're not harboring fear. They're not harboring pain. They're not harboring judgment. They're freely flowing with the expressions of the universe and everything that they truly inside want to say or be or do or contribute to the world. So it is important that if we truly want to grow and we truly want to continue to move forward in our life, that we not be attached to the people around us and to the images that we've created of who we are to other people. Now, as you grow, there will be those people who are able to come with you, who happily join you in your growth and who complement that process, and that's a beautiful thing. But the reason you must be willing to let them go, and I say willing, you don't rush them out, just be willing to let them go if they are not there with you as you grow, is because everyone has their own path. And for you to link arms with someone else and fight all the forces of the universe that are telling you to let go, and you brave every storm with that person, when in reality, that's their storm. Your path over there is full of sunlight. Or even better, your path is sunlight and their path is sunlight, and you're only embracing the storm because you're too interconnected to each go your own beautiful and blessed way. So it's very important to learn that being who you are is not only okay, it's preferred. It is, in fact, the path to enlightenment, to success, to peace, to happiness, to freedom. To stand in your own shoes and not be afraid of who might walk away from you, and not be afraid of who might say, "You've changed." Yes, yes, I have changed. Have you not? Do you not intend to? Do you truly find joy in saying that I'm the same old person I've been for 20 years now, and I ain't changing a damn thing about myself? If that's where you find your joy, so be it. And if that's where you find your joy, then surely you're happy and joyful enough to allow me to find my own. So allow yourself to be a light and an example for other people by being that light and that example for yourself. Live your own truth. If today you want to put your energy into learning how to be an architect, how to build buildings, do it. And then if 3 years from now you've succeeded at that, you feel like you know what you wanted to know, you've implemented what you wanted to implement, and you have that inkling inside of you to start writing, or to start painting, or doing music, or studying to be a doctor, or whatever it is, then pursue that. And then if in a few years you have an inkling to just travel the world, then do that. And know that as long as you are being who you truly are, as long as you are essentially allowing the God in you to express Himself, to express herself, to express the divinity that is you, the creativity that is you, you'll be provided for. You'll be taken care of. And for every person that walks away from you because they don't understand, or they can't keep up, or their path is simply different from yours, you'll pick up 2 people along the way who do understand, who do support you and love you, and who can help you and take the journey with you. Ultimately, it is still your journey. But again, no man is an island. And so, as we continue on our journey, we will always attract that which is like ourselves. The more authentic you become, the more authentic the people around you are. The more authentic and the more aligned with your true self your environment becomes. A lot of us have a tendency to just think about the changes that we want to make and feel that we've done enough. For instance, I recall, I guess a year or 2 ago now, when I first discovered yoga and meditation and these ways of connecting spiritually and books and things, I would read parts of a book, not finish the whole thing, read a couple chapters and feel like, boom, I got it, I know it, I have the answer, boom, I'm enlightened, where's my success? When I first learned about yoga, I would practice yoga once a week, twice a week, or a couple of days in a row, and then nothing for a few weeks in a row. And I would sit and just wonder in those days when I wasn't doing anything, why am I not having those benefits of yoga? Why am I not experiencing this agility and flexibility? Why do I not feel like it's helping? Because you have to be committed to yourself enough to say, I'm going to keep doing this thing. You know, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing myself a little bit further, a little bit further. So we have to be careful not to fall into the trap of feeling like we know what to do, or we know what we want to know already, or we know where we're going and we know what's already there, to the point where we become stagnant and we just know it. We never experience it. Now I practice yoga every day and I meditate every day, and it has been fantastic already. I don't know how long it's been. I honestly haven't kept track, but it's been one of the most enjoyable things, and it's a non-negotiable in my life now. It's part of my commitment to myself that every single day I'm going to practice yoga because I like it, I love it, and it helps me to grow and to connect with myself. That may or may not be the same thing for you, but there is something for you, and you know what it is. Only you know what it is. Other people cannot tell you what your path looks like or where the roadmap is to get you there. Only you know that, but you do know that. You know that at every moment. You know that every time your gut says, go that way, or don't go this way. Or how about we go for a walk today? And then you go for that walk and you have a chance encounter that takes you to a place you never imagined going, but that you always wanted to be. So you always know what's going to lead you in the direction of your true self. It's simply a matter of honoring it and listening and then taking that action and overcoming the fear of losing out on the people you have right now, on the vision of yourself that you have right now. Because in reality, you don't lose anything. If there are people and situations in your life that are only in your life because you're not growing, then it's probably in your best interest to leave them anyway. And again, if they are conducive to your growth, then they will be there with you every step of the way until their time and your time with them has come to an end. So go through life being authentic, being yourself, making that commitment to yourself every day that I'm going to follow my inner voice. I'm going to do what's best for me, no matter who dislikes it, no matter who doesn't understand, no matter who talks about it, no matter who walks away from me. Because I am most important in my life. And I am willing to do whatever it takes to experience joy, to experience peace, to experience happiness for my own self. And when you take that first step, when you get up off of that metaphorical couch and go to that metaphorical grocery store, what you find is wonders beyond your wildest dreams. What you find is that everything that you thought would come from those attachments you had is truly in your authentic self. It's on your path. It's already there for you. You simply need to wake up to your own inner self, to your own inner voice. Trust in that voice. Listen to that voice. And then follow along with it. Go along for the ride of your own life. Who else's life can you ride with anyway? No matter how much you attach yourself to somebody else's life, you still will never experience their life. You will still only experience your life as you follow them. So I encourage you today, every day, be unafraid. Be authentic. Love yourself and commit to yourself enough that you say, no matter who's coming with me and who's not, no matter what mask I'm going to have to peel off, and no matter what it looks like underneath that mask, it's me, and I love me, and I'm going to be me now and tomorrow and the next day until there is no more me to be. This is your chance. This is the one chance you asked for to be the person you are right now. And when you realize that, when you realize the power in knowing that no one else is you, no one else has ever been you, and no one else can ever be you, then you have all you need to shine your light. Thank you for tuning in. Wherever you are, I love you. Whoever you are, I appreciate you. No matter what you're going through, this too shall pass. The only way to get stuck is to stop moving, and the only way to get there is to keep going. I love you.